It's a beautiful bacon day, Cookie Crusaders. Today we are bringing back Tea Night in all its glory. There's some changes though. What we used to run was very heavy powered units like Frost Queen, Sea Fairy, Eclair, things like that to kind of just drive a lot of damage into an opponent as quick as possible, because what was happening, since we didn't have any healers or any support units really, other than maybe Eclair, we were having an issue where if we didn't get enough damage at the beginning, our team would die off very quickly, and then it would be completely up to Tea Night to carry the entire team. Things have changed a lot since then. Now we have a little bit of a different setup, and we're kind of using counter units as well. So what we're doing is this. We've got Vampire that's countering Cream Unicorn. Vampire specifically attacking Cream Unicorn to not only get a lot of damage in, but hopefully swoop out the opponent as well. Vampire is being boosted by Financier, or Financier Cookie, however you want to say it. So that's giving heals to Vampire. In addition, since Vampire is the most likely to die, because of the way his kit is set up and his HP is set up, he's going to hit that insignia to heal the remainder of our team. Then we have the Monocle that's going to heal our team as well as remove debuffs. So it's a really nice synergy with that. Tea Night, every time a cookie dies, that's going to give Tea Night more power, which is why a lot of teams with Feather worked really well for Tea Night, because that's what was working and what was pushing it further beyond. So Vampire is mimicking that Feather here, giving us almost a fourth treasure in an essence. Then we, of course, have the Magic Candy from Yam with a lot of damage coming out, a lot of power, and then Dark Cacao as always has been a strong ancient to bring into the team. And so let's just run through the toppings to show you what's going on. So we've got a huge almond set on Tea Night. We need as much resistance as possible. If you can get to the max 51%, great. If not, it's understandable. Preferably, attack speed and attack are the two best secondary substats to focus on, because once you do get that situation where it's just Tea Night left, because that can happen and does happen, then you're going to be running against the clock and the speed of time. So you're going to need that attack speed to just push through. Purple Yam, we're running a full attack set. Granted, we want more damage resistance, yes, but honestly, we're running for power here. You can run it with almonds or peanuts. Both of those are better options in most scenarios. But if you have Yam outlive Tea Night, then you're actually going to have some issues too. So we want power more than we want survivability for Yam, because if Yam outlives Tea Night, then you don't get the massive power haul that you get when you get Tea Night to be the last unit. So you got to be careful with that. Financier, same thing. No damage resistance here. We're going for full cooldown. We want to have that set up to push that buff onto Vampire as much as possible. Vampire, we're not really running a lot of damage resistance on, because, yet again, we just want it to die down, get that feather pop from the Magic Candy, come back, hit Cream Unicorn as much as possible with as much damage as possible. You can even see high cooldown here too. So we're just really trying to get that bite going on as much as possible. The only other unit that does have damage resistance is because the way Dark Cacao is set up is that if you have no damage resistance, his HP is a little bit squishy as the Ancients go, to where he will be able to be killed off very quickly, especially because he's in that midline row where our enemy is going to be attacking with Espresso. So that's going to make a big difference, because Espresso is going to be pumped by this person's Financier Cookie. So that will be important and a big difference to consider. Now, if you look too, we only have 2 units that are ascended past 3-star, where they have 2 units past 3-star, and they have 3 units past 1-star, so they technically have higher ascensions than us. And their power is a little bit lower, just a little bit. That might be the way their toppings are set up, but overall their ascensions are technically higher. So we're going to go ahead and run it against their team and just show you what happens, and we'll analyze the data after. So, as you see, that fast cooldown from Financier, pumping Vampire, quick actions against Cream Unicorn in the back, quickly limiting their capabilities as a team healing altogether. As long as we can get Cream Unicorn out of the way, we can push through the rest of the team, since that's going to be the bulk of resistance. They do have damage resistance from Wildberry too, so they got a pretty tanky setup without doubt. But there's that first feather pop. That's when we get that ability to take out their Cream Unicorn, and from that point on, our team just wrecks through from the push it has from damage between Yam, T-Knight, and Dark Cacao. All three of them are great damage dealers. So as you can see, we only ended up truly losing Vampire Cookie, and everyone else was healed and buffed up because of that setup. And overall, like I said before with the Syrians on Yam, we wanted damage. We really pushed the damage with Yam and that Magic Candy. We did get good damage on Vampire, but really that was mainly focused on Cream Unicorn to aid in slowing down those heals. Only 1.9 million from Cream Unicorn because we were able to take that cookie out after like 3 triggers of the Vampire Bite. And then our Financer, because of that cooldown and the overall setup, just going against Vampire, was able to do a really good amount of healing and a pretty good amount of damage. Could be better, of course, because if we had higher attack substats or higher attack speed substats, that would have benefited for Financer as well. And T-Knight really wasn't necessarily the main focus here in the sense of that's who's going to be doing the most damage. Really, that's there as the last stand type of cause. So that's why we didn't really have to depend or bank on T-Knight too heavily. If we did, it's actually really not a great team, because the way T-Knight used to work was you put all your efforts in T-Knight. Granted, it was a cool strategy to see. Yes, I'm not dissing that, but for T-Knight to run better, he should only be there as a last resort, as the last one surviving if your team does get beat out, and he carries you back to the finish line. If you're banking on him getting to the finish line every time, you're going to probably struggle and have some issues. So, tell me what you think about this team. Do you want to run T-Knight again? Is this something that you'd be willing to run? I'm sure you've at least built Vampire and Yam because of the Magic Candies. Financer's been a huge cookie that has entered the meta for many players, and Dark Cacao is someone that I think almost everybody's invested into. So really the question is, do you have T-Knight and have you invested in him? Because that's at least an option you can do. Now granted, yes, you can get the golden skin if you get to wave 60 for Alliance the first time. It's not needed for this composition because it does not make any changes of buffs, but it is a nice little flex if you get to use it against people. So if you have that, that's pretty cool too. Either way, I'd love your comments and feedback as always. I hope this team is something that's helpful for you in the arena. It's something that I'm definitely enjoying using. And it's not any supports or true on healers. Yes, you have healing from Yam for the Magic Candy, you have healing for Vampire, and you have healing from Financer skill, but you don't actually have true healers or supports in the team itself. So if you have labs specifically invested in charge cookies or defense cookies, you're going to be a little bit out of an advantage in this scenario for that reason. So hopefully that's something that can be helpful to you. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope you have a wonderful day.